Assalamu alaikum. Baden la moy lala ni mbari jiber la. Ntelang Ip Sangor and then every Saturday show the go the final point. The final point was show the muyalon ko kana nati like cool kacha kukel mukita na Gambia banko kan gindo kum tambilal cool muyalon ko important tabaki le prum ntol Gambia no na singa kum tanga kacha. So nte damma buka nyin kacha ken nin kafu nyoma long di kafu mi di Afridamos aning Yahya M Dabo Yahya Dabo dum bio kan ay sitile bi fo me frino adul bajira famale o so mbe na tula fe godo shoto ifana na so nyin join ifana ye badi juber la konton the Afridamos and Yahya, welcome to the show my friends.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Baraka yeng invite nang so na regular show nyeng anim jiber la mbal mume kontong.
Thank you to you.
Bravo jiber la konton na ni sibitu lumbala ale mabe bisibito fana la mbal be konton na lamur la albe dawada albe dunia fana membela alhamdulillah.
Yeah, the show is not streaming on the Facebook for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Did you link it?
Yeah, it is linked. But it's only showing on YouTube as we speak right now. So I don't know why. Because there's an exclamation mark on the Facebook right now. Only YouTube is showing it.
It is.
It's showing on my Facebook.
It's showing on mine.
Oh, okay. It's not showing on the LSTV one. Yeah. So I don't know what concern. I don't know what's going on, but anyways, if it doesn't work, we can just continue.
Well,
yeah, we can deal with it another time, right? All right, fellas. So, being katabe important na baga kadu kujamal le kata lafto munu kachala. Okay, so Gambia ninga jiwe nyimlo kuntambila kesu to wika fumi Mbemba Drammeh. So Mbemba Drammeh ati akate mu NPP supporter letinu. So I interviewed like the first was with another guy. I think he's West Coast something radio or whatever. Then after I interview by can on Tuesday. So I come over for the coming I moved to Nyaming Kabo. I bought an MPP Nyaming and we at Nabuda MPP Fanang. I'll call for the and it will fall after Nyaming. And then from there, based on what I watched, I didn't see anything about coming and move for about election rigging, but a lot of people are saying it, and Nimbo Jamaya for it means that there's some element of truth in it. So based on that, story soldier koya arrested Gambia ya muta. Then after he was bonded out. Fundida on $200,000 is bond, and also Felcom 2 Gambian stories, stuff like that. So Lieutenant Oku Mudanga Kachanga Gibe, the genesis of the story and then Akuota Nyadile. So based on that, let me give Yahya the first chance to speak today. So Yahya, what's your take on that? On Mbemba?
Assalamu alaikum. Ibs, thank you very much. Come here in Fanyaming. fana nga jibe wala nyama on kerfadu nte mala nyin afidamo si mesa this is the first time be ojala, but I just watch it just briefly. So ala diamo nyin on kerfadu nga I follow it almost from the beginning to the last part. Then I was busy. Then nata carry play again. Nga nata be listen. Nata be lamoy. So yeah nte fe this man. Okay, first of all, let me generalize it. Every individual is at liberty to join any political party left like a join man. When you join the political party if you feel like inila Mantano isi bono jele, then you can join any other party of your choice. But what may be there are some secrecies in the party when yalong ko world goal, then you fala ika dolum tanol. But what we need to look at niye munefo yalong ko follow openly in public domain. So I don't know how all bajela nyadi in a wider world. Bante ade nyame wala mindiko. Based on my own opinion, this guy should not be he should not be celebrated. In a sense, like publicly he came out and confessed something that has happened. So I mean confess among 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 evidence D or among too much evidence D, but like the police arresting him, I did not see anything bad about that. Sole Mamuta more than 72 hours, that is in the constitution. That is in the constitution. And the police inviting him for questioning, for me, that is right. So but near charge whatsoever I mentioned has proof has to be shown at the court in order for him to be proven innocent. Innocent. So Nyaje, I believe we are invite. Maybe he said something that is of national interest. So police oli menke ibela ibenda fe bela do wala ke kan ya bula ngana jibe yimbina kala nyama, but nara ko nyim fana prosita, we expect it to be a fair and balanced judiciary process, and let's wait for the outcome. But we need to portray one thing. He allegedly confessed to doing something, and he even mentioned that Kate plus 7 other people they took part in that. That's where the interest point is. So police will, I believe, based on that, wala na police ya invade and police will be able to call keka.
So yeah, so it based on just that, the police did their due diligence in making sure that they invite him just to kind of get information on at him for to verify that, to further investigate that. So I kind of have a feeling you and Afridamos may align a little bit in your line of thinking to the Afridamos. What are your thoughts, brother?
Look, I mean, I listened to this guy. Nga Kerfatu Nying, even though the whole production was terrible, lights were out and the audio was shot. But, either way, it happened, right? But nga do fana lamoy. Nga video nye men share.
Yeah.
So Niajibe, this guy, has a Kafomieko scorned woman syndrome. Ibukaje, Chepe mean Niab, like ite from Nina Benyola. Ifatala, la fongalo ne ko ifatala bari, alma fonyo e ko nga nyobla, la fongo akalamuda ko mfatela. So, between Simon to that age, akatara kamfarin. So Mbemba ni o video jibe, ngamin share onya. Even his body language, comfort of body language. Fa akadiam le fasting on akatara ka jara jara. So in these audios, I mune admit, I have found implicate. He said, he confessed to a crime according so makateni mo serving do so mo jamal bije mantra ka jele je okay dol bije be podila ba fola ko oh anana UDP manyana ka Mbemba fangoma because it Mbemba notale completely because
Exactly.
Mbemba is a criminal at this point. He's something treasonous.
Exactly. Wala na nga
You see?
emphasize ko, he should, at this point
Yeah,
in time, he should not be celebrated. He should not be celebrated.
exactly. Because
Yeah, because
because he's confessing to a crime. This is treason.
treason.
This
Yep.
guy,
Mhm.
his ego, aning ala kamfa, ama fongo control no, aya fongo dundi.
Mhm.
Nyimbe kela Gambia drone, nyinse hanya woke France. Then he went on to speak about tribalism while implicating himself as the tribalist, in that political party. Because aka mo milbe tofo, aka milbe chodi. Yalong, wolmon finti mankuma moe wolla, wolie
Mhm.
minfo about tribalism, fonte.
Mhm.
Bari ate ka minfo, ate le ba fukanko, mtel manding kol nyanta nyala, no nyolale, nga support, because ibe jutu ka manding kol lale, modol le ka manding kol, damangol dundi nyola, ike use. So ite ba fukan neko, manding kol man intelligent, modol le ke tel use against themselves. How does that even make sense? So ate fangoko atakata the NPP ako mi ate si NPP ako baro mala koto kelt ako fasaro wala asiji ama fo banku kanode o banku doko ako fasaro ako andum ate according to him I mean for a fongoda ako fasaro ite ila fasaro be nyame hani na mofa it's a lakam so what ate man moti because ala premise fongo adatita dame atata baro kan min kan ama la kan tonya kan ngania senengo kan atata je munella ako fasaro amon banko jibe so sign nan bi anyanta ka fintinan ntel malo mune dundaje maybe
Mhm.
fate la you can understand if
Mhm.
fata la nten ala body language ne ajibe andu UDP fana nyanta le malu kana ke kamoti warante suntu kungoti sunkutu mane o mane itelle kata ifana manyan na sonna wala nyin dongo kay ifana inyanta fala nyin nala because nyin abe mingi tande la bay tan la ko UDP natra nyin ay min fo natra tonya alan ning atra tonya because amam proof nati
Mhm.
amam proof nati ntel malo ngay min busi fale la NPP yalo ntel mo
Mhm.
so ning a telefongo wulita a fongo da a katata fasaro la baroya ile tata fasaro la je kano te nya kono warante banko fay nya kono hey inyantale yata kantu fongo le wo decision ota kata fasaro la ite momil ta kata ke neng baro kola yalon baro mete bulawala alnga to nyafo mbemba anten dindinte de bemba mu ke kanangol te ke balem okay atele tada a jointa baro kan akotonya o fania
Mhm.
aba fasala so silang mum fania si fale keta UNPP fo sa weate ni okuya ka fintinang ako fire fongo implicate so ndebo dulale jibe kan andu yaya I'm glad if ana yejeje
Mhm.
ini la UDP kaya be yengen dula
No,
yeje
yeah,
bite
on this platform, I try to be very much uh, uh, um, fair to the people. Nimbe diamula, I just put politics aside.
right
I just speak my mind in the interest of the audience. When it comes to party politics, my comments
because
mostly
yeah, look at it, right?
on my political, on my personal platform. But when it comes to, I just want to be fair to the people. I don't want to take any political side. I just Tonya Jembe alone remember caring.
Right.
When it
So
comes to
so
things
so
like that, yeah.
because the
Mhm.
fact of the matter is, right? How do
Mhm.
we know nying a mantra coming come because clearly comfort all mat, you know, instead of ate bao a telefono katara fasa rola so sa mantra ka mari fasa koten moro kabri bitaje ma kalamuta ni be fintila je manyan na kawo kalamuta ite ni mo akafo ako baro akade ko baro ila dindingol dandala ite fongo munum baro la dindingol you know so nyim mo si fal ni nata i kanal timotole you know alni timo form you know after kamfa nin kol manta itel laftala nyame ila actiono tumala min na itel bo timodo andu mome bulanyina atika momil be fo kafo ninna mol kuntuta jumale iteni ila mol kuntu jumale ko ite tay yewol mol ye banen you know ite you made those
Good point.
you
That's
know
that's an excellent point right there.
yeah andun na Gambian society nying is common de eka moje you know and akamu kebalti ana hakilol aita ku ke mialo after kana akafate nimi setale modol le ate bulala no personal accountability ite foite mu jorangolti molke use foite hakilol mawara so at that point nteni momo diam taw nyama rek nkalo ne fengo fen kana fintite da kona faniala because kamfato ka faniaf kamfato mu faniaf olal it's facts kamfato because atela doko munete abe kamfari melkam you know because atem Mbemba fongo da kolomo la afo akade tata fasaro la hanini baro e mofa itelbe lala kan so woto you know ate you know kawulia fasa woman kate nyakoto fenti afongo la afo man you know moma nyim fode afongo da kolomo so
no me fango be wala minti ko like nala conscience ya itandala ko since on set this is what has been happening and amalla fala jiko amanga tonya ta nim banko la luwa manta nin
no
tilingo
ate
manta
fongo he participated
pe
according to
yeah
him
mbe wala yeah
kolomo
yeah since then na nyanta decision okela since before now because sai molbe munajala wala minti ko why now
and that should be the question.
exactly so
Bari komi e jata fambondi nyol dol soto milialon ko, you know, itel fengo feng is political, you know, itel bao fengo feng, you know, fengo feng itel fe mimbe baro non de la drong, itel kata wole non. Bari imalon ko nyim mbemba da kolomo ya fengo non dile, kabodu mafoto. Wala tin na police ol yamuta so jata fambondi nyol dol tata ila pejo kan ya mira e ka kumo min safe laino nyin temantel man taraka je karang ndeka je la karang ka je fintindi e ka kamfa ka foko ite UDP la kole kamfa ne hani ntabe UDP sobindi kanne mbe sobindi kanne ibulo nyanta wo fatala Mbemba lale ka foko anata nyinko inko ngadoje mak jane ate kolloke ker fatu fong min mi yalon ka akate nin sulandin kunjaro le kadia mak jane alfongo yalon so mak jane wolum fo at ala shoto abe fana be diamu kanne kombemba atela tribalism a nyatilen sarakulel andum be tuloba so wo politiki nya sifa right ite you alienate other people Mbemba Mbemba tata kabrata da kerfato ala kumo nyinyandile bari nying video do mak le fong share ala pejo ka nga play nga la mo en fongo no bari nyil UDP ikal accuse late ka fokal mu tribalisol ite kada ka tribalist mo ka tribalist kumo you know Mbemba ma bo fang ate ma bole so Mbemba la ko mo nyana mo jakal la because momin fango kata kasi dunia be nyatilingola you know ite fango criminal act ite ka foko yewoleke you know woto fo Mbemba nim police ol Mbemba arrest woto luwate Gambia al nga tonya fo yalon ngalo ne dolbi je kala file ka police ol you know jalay warante ka foko e barole be nyin ko barola kute nyinto imanyanna baro dundi la nyin kono you know nko tonya mu kilinnet Mbemba ay minke ay mimfo you know, inataka arrest la bang fe manyanaka arrest. Ndeka mol because ni aje nga UDP in le kana koitel sa koitel ka constitutional level. A la constitutional right. So ninge nyininka ya la constitutional right jumale violate ibuka fono. Muna mo fanang wato do bije ikasile relax. Ni jawo na ba fongo tinyaka. Si doro ite ajibe bari ni korontota ika process o nyin stop le. You know?
So after that was you come out for you highlighted something to Momu Kamfada, you know, because there is this saying called hurt people, you know, like
right. Exactly.
Yeah, so and Gambia fananteng nga hakilo to mun na model bije politics mula lifeline they cannot go without politics. You understand? So niboda nyim patito, they'll try to find a way to castigate and they'll move on to the next. Niboda then they'll move on to the next. So they'll keep going around. So people like Mbemba and taking attribute to that category of people that I think NPP fall out maybe, you know, coming near football by irreconcilable differences.
Differences,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you see, you nailed it. So irreconcilable differences, usually the scorn woman, he is expressing the scorn woman syndrome, me along or scorn man, you know. So football I mean, you know, ye ming ya lonko ya telebula weka kamfa. Yes. Weka kamfa.
Come here biro mumboydoro. Yes.
Yeah, yambiro boy amam pareka give up. And atefongo I have followed in these interviews, both of them, right? Atefongo baro manku katela. Okay? Atefongo amira lokawe baro non dikane. But he is painting baro in a good light because
implicating himself.
Baro, you know, yes, Tonyara abe silo dada kane bari konko be molla. Konko etara molla work is subjective, you know, it's subjective. You go to Gambia and ngaminje, ndenya minje, man konko tojeje. Some people are even overweight. You see what I'm saying? So you might be, you know, talking luxury. You know, I mean, if you prefer eating 3 meals in a day, I mean, you better be willing to work. That's just facts. I mean, so mansa ida ay silo ida fong ba fokan ko abe silo dada kan Gambia nita silo la nyin silo wala fanambe nyin konkol bonde because some places are remote sila tije, so they need to be connected, you know, with the, you know, because formal malon
with the markets
domorol fango domor jama Gambia jeto akabonan santol leto provinces. So you know, ni man silol dada ka access di womol puru ye nyim nati no marseto kolya nyi ngabe lala mo bele kam, so barobe min ke kan ku kendo lan.
Well, America, sorry, they have these FM roads, like the farm to market roads.
Right.
It's the other, you know, in rural America to Bakele, you know, so those are the kind of stuff that you're talking about. But when you talk about Congo, and I hear that comment a lot, you know, they use this term, and to me, it's just an easy way out. Because Nico Conco, like you said, you know, is subjective, right?
Yeah.
There is no government that will come and eradicate hunger or poverty like that. Because even America or other Western countries, or you know, you have homeless people under the bridges, you know, that are out there, you know, seeking handouts and stuff like that. So, in Tengamradal, you know, to eliminate hunger in its community, it doesn't matter how extravagant you know, the government is or whatnot. Still, there are ways to Nico Conco, you know,
individual. Ako kabrade fudada Gambia je molle kana karang kanadani domoro, you know, dolbije, you know, nila mo fango fata sa domonole ite boda tubabudu nko nata molte ma ips kabirin jawara jamano anin ya jamme fo mo muntumalan sanjumalo molbuka na kana dani rola tubabu dum
Of
fo
course, they always come. That's gonna
bari
come. Yeah.
fo ya min le ko konko be fakan
No,
ips
no,
ide
never come.
gambia jentele mo jel lo million ko you would say fente bulu, you know, ikadani roke, whatever. But
Yeah.
in wol inene wol jelo konko late kamfo kafoko nila mo fata ba domal. And Gambia
So
is a lot more improved today than it was yesterday. Let's
yesterday, yeah.
just be honest.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it was morning
Absolutely.
sama kono. You know, time mo minna mialong ko, you know, Fenjamal Bukananu Marcelto. So in Gambia, they have things coming out, you know, from international markets into the country. It can mean sort of no wolong, kuchaning mani kama, kucha, ikamfa, ye chalo lakam. You know them days, right? So,
So what can September day? Kafu seke
yo,
karo.
so now, you know, you got people that, you know, they got mini markets everywhere. It come
Yeah.
from. So saying need to come mansala doko abe ole kekam. Wolong kasilol dada. So aning ka
Yeah.
school law. So baroba la doko abe o kekanne. But
Yeah,
go
you
ahead.
know, Nigeria that in terms of Congo, I'm just coming back to that. Like a lot of people, you know, if you hit this topic, you know, it's after you are being insensitive, you are this and that. But the only way you can alleviate hunger or poverty is self-improvement. Like, you know,
Yes.
you making sure like from the family line,
Mm-hmm.
Alial Dingol Karandi, you know, set yourself and your kids up for success. You understand? So near work, you know, that's another way of eradicating poverty. When you go to my village, until back in the day, there are families Munyalanko, they are doing a little bit better than the others.
Right.
But that family, the families of Munyalanko, they were not doing well when I was a young kid. They educated Idimo.
Right.
So those families now, you know, they are doing way
They've
better than they
overcome
did
their
back then.
obstacle.
Exactly. So, and then that's the imagine the world for them young sign. You know, they are doing better. If not be a demon in the future, their kids are going to do
Right.
better. So that way, they'll never go back to how they used to be in the past. And that way, they eliminate hunger, they eliminate poverty. So the only way is Africa government is responsible for hunger is when the government is unable to new government market create to be able to import in products or, you know, or
Exactly. But
provide
but the
goods and
but the
services.
Gambia is doing
But
that.
exactly. So if the
It's a free
if the
market.
food is available, yeah, but people cannot buy it. Maybe you can talk about the people's buying power. When you talk about, you know, people don't make enough money to be able to buy, I
Yes.
could understand that. But then there are other factors you can touch too. Okay, are people always, you know, counting on working in the government in order to earn an income, or are there other ways to make money in order to help increase ila buying power? So
Look,
those are topics that you can get
it's
into. Like Ike Afidamus, you're doing it. You know, you're doing farming
right.
in Gambia, right? You
Right.
know, it's a lot of land in Gambia. A lot of people don't want to farm, but when they
Mhm.
farm, dude, you can never go poor in Gambia when you really invest well in farming. I mean, come on now. You
It's
know,
one
yeah.
this is the thing. Like for me, I'm not just coming up with, you know,
Yeah. If you
suggestions.
talk to you muted.
Oh
Sorry, I
yeah,
was
sorry.
muted. Ni I remember
Yeah.
na I think for the first episode or second episode.
Yes.
When I did talk about Gambia na education system on nyanta falling na nyami, you know, we are in 21st century. Come Gambia ku jamal be meji hansa man falling. Ninga jibe saying educational data atara fanal mena nunga be fanal mena. Skill sets are totally different. Saying amanka ko ibita school da mala ye graduate, but nim parents will fanasi dingol encourage no into handicraft and other skill jobs. At the end of the day, ni old dolke for graduate, likely with the support or maybe with the support from the family or through some donor agents or through some of these uh, 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 corporate like corporate loans and whatsoever, you can start a business. For example, na rete tara school le ye welding or woodwork le karang and you block ko itaje. Ita the mansa batula ya ko mas kundala be do go create like you already have the skill set. If it a yellow own workshop or you start from there. Those are some of the things. So in addition to ali nyimen foteng, mena men follow another thing nga menje mola comments nyol to pertaining to this issue is that model ba ko this is why Supreme Court should have listened to UDP la election Fenko challenging. Therefore, these two has not, they don't have any connection. Yeah, they don't have any connection in a sense that okay, the Supreme Court you put aside like, because based on technicalities. But this one, this individual, where I found 2 million.
Thank you.
I found 2 million. And that's what we need to look at.
Yalong alfalka kolua meseatale. You know, a meseatale. So, you know, imon wole faham. You know, ning mo nada kamfato ekidota fango bunga fango singot. Barate ma kalamuta yellow bonka. Hakili ma levaje kan bemba mim fango ka fango. Wala na kabrim ko la de kollo ke kerfato. Nga korosi nyim, you know, jama ibe France le. I mean, nothing against Mol Milbe France. Warante mil katanying Europe Socialist Bank kolka. Ika foko. Ha, jaman sakunda mimbe do kola o minte do kola ke jole. Yala, nyinem problem wala na right winger solka fo nying African ol bondi la bank kolka. Ite ka okodo min collect. For the malo molle wodoku ikana mojo towards that. So ning Gambia need to sifa jalaje. Ila idea tubaboli ya Kenya you know tonya fo afoko jan nam jolal, you know, wala kanyimbe support nyin system because malum for need out of Europe nyimban kolka mi alon ko is mostly socialist ila miro to ika fengol mil ika kodon ko ditel ka fo min free kodo amanke free ti ika obondi do kulala molle ka wojo, you know, taxpayers. So ka wo idea ta ka foko Gambia wala nyanta kela. Sure, ning Gambia doku dulal jama soto. You know, nga system o soto mialon ko, you know, a control tale molka na mojo taxpayers. But you know, Gambia la tax base is you know, among what is very little. You know, the market is so small. So ntella mol nyante mira la minna, you know, wolam market o nying mbo nati la Gambia nyadi ajibe jamal bije kana internet odo ika complain, you know, the standard, you know, me and na Gambia sign, you know, Senegal is taking over, all the other places taking over. Senegal jibe, Gambia jibe. You know, you have to have the infrastructure, you know. So baro be wole do kola
And the institutions, yeah.
exactly. You need infrastructures. You know, ye marketol nyul ye connect. So coming jata fambondi fela imaje sa ya be min fako mandi akofo be opposition. Bari jata nyol do yalo wol lafta kamune use. Ite lafta kanale, you know, kafo ko, you know, mo milka konko kumbo mansala fault lo. So that it to use that as a political talking point. Anung mantra kafo ko, you know, things are easy. But things are not easy anywhere in the world. In Gambia, things are cheap. I'll tell you this. Gambia lo domoron is cheap. But you know why it's expensive? It looks like it's expensive. It is you know, it is you know, iko in tang be sukilin okay kanan yo musu kanan lulu ke kanan lulu. It is the mine ka will be feed. Yeah, how much a kilo of because I went there to study how much things cost. In case a kilo of beef over there. You know how much it was when I was there?
Yeah, Afridam, sorry, I just wanted to tell you it just finally connected to the Facebook now, so we're good.
Okay. So $350 How much? How many? How much is that in dollars? So
Yeah,
it's cheaper, right?
that's almost that's 50 cents, around 50 cents.
Exactly.
No, sorry,
No, no,
sorry,
no, no.
sorry.
It's more than that because $1 is
Yes,
like
sorry,
7.
sorry.
You
Yes,
know,
yes, sorry, yes,
but what
yes.
I'm saying
About
is
$5 or less. Yeah.
right. So when you look at that, so that's cheap. But sign, if you look at it, if 10 grown-ups gotta eat that, it's no longer cheap. You see what I'm saying? So pretty much mol nyanta ka understand ko. Nunto mol ka jurumi nyoka nyame. Because niaje mol ka foka man kolya. Because mol kata nun kunkoto, everybody is contributing. Wala mo dalilot. But it's saying casino can, for what? More 10, they depend on one individual. Some will be expensive. It's going to be expensive. Because more tang ning wol ko your kontong subu kilo killing ke kananta. And when you take imira ni wol beta de do koke. They can contribute. It's a subu kili jama sanno. You see what I'm saying? Ngal na nyinte diala moli bari wala be dula nyin diandel. Ha, mansa tela kontongo dile la ni mantra do ko la mansa e. So nyulka kuma kensen wala for moli. Continue. Yeah, even
Okay,
you.
that's good. Uh, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
you're
was saying
muted.
something. Yeah, you
Yeah, you're
muted.
muted. Unmute
You
yourself.
muted.
I want him to understand. Temantra steering jang UDP toya. And then
Oh,
I'm not here to
jata, ibe
defend
jata
UDP.
laba.
I'm not here to defend UDP. I'm just a rank and file in UDP whatsoever. I will just be speaking my mind based on like nde kwalya nyanyame. So ntela the way I've perceived things could be different from his opinion. That doesn't mean that I'm wrong or right whatsoever. That's my opinion. Um, I'll continue.
No, no. So yeah, mostly, the comments are important,
Mm-hmm.
but if you want to respond to them,
Respond to them, yeah.
you will end up, distracting yourself most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so you're good, man. You cannot good. That's his opinion, and it's fine. He tell you know what you are and what you're not. So you're good. So now, I think that's a good point for us. We spent over 30 minutes
Segue.
on this, so
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
segue into our next topic, and that would be the airport Fenkonyin outage, electric outage. So, guys, last week, Ngajele Gambia Airport,
Mm-hmm.
Fenkonyin, SN Brussels wanted to land there 3 consecutive times, but there's a power outage over there, and there wasn't any communication, to let them know exactly what happened. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll go back to Dakar, come back, go back and forth, come back, just to try to land, and there's no electricity. So the the runways are not lit for
They're
them
not
to do
Mm-hmm.
visible.
anything else, visible for them to land. So that became a big, buzz on Facebook, on Gambian Facebook, and people were like, okay, what's going on? But then NAWEC, I think a day later, came out with a press release, Kafako, that happened, because they were doing some work around for Jalambang area, and so those lines were kind of connected. So
Yeah.
based on that, to avoid, deaths, because you guys remember, in Nyomi, it happened a few months ago where some contractors got electrocuted while working. So they said they were trying to avoid something of that nature. They didn't actually pinpoint that case. That's just me doing that, but so they
Mm-hmm.
were trying to avoid, eventual calamities or whatever. So Latina, they cut off the electricity, and they also mentioned one point that I want you guys to know, that all the relevant stakeholders that would be affected
We're informed.
were informed about it. Okay, so
Exactly.
when people say stuff like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
from my own perspective, I would also like want to hear what you guys think. Nimorbe Nawek Jalaila. Ngalun and Nawek hasn't been the most consistent,
Mm-hmm.
Fingo, but give the devil their due. To me, if that is happening to where they cannot avoid, turning off the power at the airport, but they've informed them ahead of time. So I think the airport should have taken the necessary steps to see what kind of backup electricity Musoto in
Mm-hmm.
order to go. Because, okay, So because the thing about there are potential because it ought be on them. Traveling to the Gambia is a nightmare right now. It's not a lot of flights that frequent the Gambia, especially for us here coming from the States. If we want to go to Gambia, it takes us
Yep.
over 24 hours to travel
Mm.
there. So SN Brussels being one of the sole carriers, we look at that, this kind of experience could kind of create a situation where maybe they would want to reevaluate in a
The
thing
route.
called going to Gambia. Not
Mm.
necessarily, but
Yeah,
they have to
Yeah.
do
but I
their
was
analysis
saying
too.
So,
Yeah.
so
Okay,
they,
go
they
ahead, go ahead.
I think
yeah, if I
I
may
think
come in.
Gambians tend to
Okay, go ahead,
overreact.
Wagi.
They
Go
tend
ahead.
to overreact maybe for many sometimes, their understanding of the world, is not that it's not that vast. They haven't experienced a lot of stuff. Even here in the United States, the most advanced country on this side of heaven, one of them. In fact, we've had times where some of the airports have had electricity situation, because of storm or something, right? That's
Mm.
happened in several airports here, and they would divert planes. Until fanka diamali, ngam fango jele in a situation like that. In fact, when I was leaving Gambia, so the plane I was in, the aircraft was supposed to land in Nouakchott, Mauritania, and I mean, we were in the air, like for over an hour. Like we could not land because they could not see the runway because it was sandstorm, which is literally equivalent to, not even having electricity. You see what I'm saying? So we
Mm.
were in the air for that long. So sure, like NOAC, since they came out and said it, it's not like this is something that kept happening. It's a one-off. Let's just hope it never happen again. And it's only one flight. Only one flight. You see, so people online, Gambian, what I've noticed, Gambian, you know, they are harsh on themselves. They judge themselves, other Gambians, they like pointing fingers. They want to dirty up other Gambians, but they don't realize they are doing that to themselves. Like when people say things like the country is failed, "Womu itella mira nyali, mira de." All these people are thinking like that. But what are they doing to make sure the country is not gonna fail? So the failure of that country reflects upon them too. So a lot of the things ngaminje, kunim balialong aning fang kanu balia. Fang mo milialong ime fangol kanu, imang kuning, itel ne kundin jedrong, itel ya mirako, itel politiko la kono be mansale kajafikang, like amanjari wobela. This is just common. If in America, young, this has happened numerous times. You can literally research this and see where there's power outage in airport, you know, and maybe from this, the civil aviation would, have like a backup system in case like things like this happen. But I don't think they did it on purpose. Sometimes these things fail, and we have to understand that.
Yeah, okay. Until perspective Benjamin, kabringa nawekla notice on you read. Um, like you said, tonya aka hapun la jama la to, especially in America here. In fact, abekala this may winter season omen kono. Like during hurricanes, it happens. During winter storms, it happens. Uh, but Gambia fara nyinkata ji, but kabringa nawekla notice ni read. That's the time I blame the airport authorities. Go like they could have put in is alternative options ahead of time. Yeah, I exactly what time you mala nyulbe nyinkela. So another thing that comes to my mind is that like airport being an institution currently now, they should be they should strategize ways of having their own internal source of energy, in a sense like apart from generator, how about let's shift to renewable energy. They can look for funds, or they can look for subventions, grants, or whatsoever. let them come with solar power around the airport la space waratal they can create almost 500 panels of solar that can supply the whole entire airport uninterrupted service of energy. When it comes to Nawek could still be another source of energy, but I think we need to shift from combustion engines, because that's what comes to my mind. Kabringa nyinyan koko, this one actually, you cannot blame Nawek for it, and I believe the authorities also need to look beyond their they need to open their perspectives and look at other source of energy like nimma wind power sono but solar kurang tulobi ka Gambia. So if
Yeah, and
airport law
yantale a
capacity
kiss fanang for nyankuma fingole dunta masingo kono.
so nara solar panel airport la space jama balle sodo
Right.
solar panel ke dula they will have their independent source of energy. So I think
Well,
that's
they
things
still
many along in the authority needs to look into things like this will be averted.
Yeah, I mean,
Mbemba Nyankumo Fimo Kije.
I'm on ka credit because I mean at this point, I wouldn't put anything past that man. What he want, assassino telerako. Ngo, omo lulo mil fata nu. Ntelenge fa. Any more time.
Yeah, but that's an excellent point of view, guys. Because Ndengamara Gambia is not just Fenko the airport, but a lot of Fenko Nimbe Banko Kambanko Muyalonko electric supply is a problem. And also with government rural electrification programming, there is supplying is limited, but
It's
they're also
limited, yeah.
trying to serve a lot of communities, which I understand. So
Yeah, they
I
definitely
think
gotta do something about the
yes,
electricity. That if they can calculate that, man, that country would be on a next level.
because
Seriously.
Afrodamus, this is the thing, NAWEC has to be not in front of a lot of these misgives, because check it out. You can't get a lot of these. For example, you have a farm. Instead of getting NAWEC, electric supplies from NAWEC, a lot of people would go. You may go
Well, I'm
solar.
going solar. I'm not. That's what I'm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm doing solar.
And that's gonna impact NAWEC's revenue. Coming, okay. How about a lot of
but
businesses?
it's cheaper for me to do that.
Exactly. But if there was consistent electric supply
Right.
in Gambia, you would not have thought of going solar. You know what I'm saying?
I still would.
You still would? Okay. But
So so Ibrahim, another thing like looking into this Nawek whatsoever issue we might also look at what is the impact on the Gambia economy or whatsoever infrastructural developments, and how Nawek la sifal jamal thing how it can some of the investors may left kana Gambia, they can lose hope in coming to Gambia nin come nyum kusifal because currently niajibe like I don't know the percentage of output Nawek can provide exactly to the Gambian population, because I know K Power and the sourcing from Senegal these two is far more than what Nawek is providing. So nte fana menje woro na miralo kamendi na wala mnyintiko K Power is in the Gambia, but like I don't know what is the agreement between Gambia government and or Nawek and Gambia government and Senegalese government when it comes to this power. But it could be a security threat to the Gambia in a sense
Well,
that
they should do something about it, because
it's a security.
you see what happened in Niger
Niger.
Niger
Yeah,
and Nigeria,
yeah,
they were getting the power from Nigeria,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So that's
So
exactly.
when they wanted to you know to shut them down,
Yeah,
they just shut it down, even
exactly.
though they
This
paid
exactly what I'm
they
saying.
paid the
So
bill.
it
So
could be a national national
you can
security
easily
threat. It's a
sanction.
security threat to the Gambia in a sense like
Mhm.
Senegal could even sabotage the government, the Gambian source of energy, just to suppress down Gambia industries.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
We are in
nimba
the
ko nyi
we should definitely like work out, you know we should definitely not outsource things like that,
that,
like,
yeah,
because we have to be a free nation.
energy independence.
Yeah, so but ite kelano a free nation ti kafo idadron,
No.
especially in this day and age, man. We're gonna need like Gambia to figure out how not to have outside entities control the energy of the country, because
Yeah, it's simple because like
that's very important.
yeah, Mr. Wage, when it comes to that, when you look at like Gambia is almost becoming a tradition in a sense like if you look at Gambia, these government parastatals and corporations, right? The Gambia government year in and out is giving them money, and they are not bringing in too much dividends back. When you go to Gamtel, Gambia government every year, every budget report in Kamwele Gamtel this amount of money. Gambia government paying amount of money la dila nawek la. Mbene dila ferry services la. Mbene dila GPA la. How much are they bringing back? These are institutions which the government expect them to at least bring in some dividends back to the
Yeah,
government,
especially the
especially
ferry
now.
service,
The
especially
same
the
thing,
ferries,
the ferry
man.
service and NAWEC for since Kabrin Jawara time when they were like GUC,
Yes,
MSG, NAWEC and all those things. Masakunda has been pumping money into these institutions. At the end of the day, what happened? They cannot even sustain themselves and they go back to the just like Alfame Alonko, Idingo ya wulu, ya tola, ya
mhm.
dum karambungo. You feel like at the end of the day, I've been a marco but ordinary nada ajita school high school ba masonata atala college I graduate ale eka
And
ko tena do kunyo
I'm
ay
sitting,
mura ne lela bunko na again iba do
yeah,
moro le
I
iba
will
iba
do to
fengala
koto.
ay nyinin ka do moro that cannot continue, man.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's what I was talking
some of
about.
these institutions, I think we need to hold them accountable. We
Hmm.
need to hold the leadership accountable, and the governments, since from Jawara's time up till now, we need to start holding institutions accountable, in a sense that
Right,
this is not sustainable anymore because we
Yeah,
cannot be
yeah,
spoon feeding them. At the end of the day, they are not
producing.
living in
yeah, yeah.
expectation. Yes.
Um, the problem with these institutions that you just highlighted is a lot of underemployment practices going over there.
I
You
know.
understand? So when you mentioned GAMTEL, Gambia Ports Authority, for instance,
Hmm.
there's a lot of people working there. Their workforce is too bloated.
Yes.
You know,
Hmm.
you understand?
Hmm.
So it's too many people working there.
Inefficiency.
Yeah, inefficiencies, right? So if they were to right size those government prestataries, as you mentioned, I
Hmm.
think that will cut a lot of their spending down.
Hmm.
And also the same thing that they're doing right now to KMC, all these council, local government councils, so they try to
Hmm.
audit, do commissions. I'm not asking for another commission for those,
Hmm.
but I think the government needs to really look into it because audit reports on Canale on all of these institutions, what their performance is and what they're doing. So I
Hmm.
think the government just needs to take a bold step
And
in
implement those
making sure that
recommendations.
prosecute these people that are found wanting for
One
office
thing, yep.
malfeasance.
Hmm.
At high level, especially look at you know, for example, Watch on Gambia is being a watchdog. For example, they highlighted, a lot of people knew what was going on in the Gambia Post Authority, but no one dares to speak of it. Watch on Gambia kept pressing it for the police took up the case, right?
Mm, yeah,
Right
yeah,
now, they
yeah.
found some
Including
of those
the
people wanting.
Post Authority Association na finko ni mano meng ela fela president who spend a lot of association some union money, and still now
Yeah,
nothing has been done about it. Like
bro. You see people working at post authorities, they're just clearing agents, my guy.
agents, yeah.
You know, these people are building mansions, man. Like 2, 3, 4 mansions, just how are these people getting these monies, man? You understand?
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's honestly like in for like usually ngamira mall ila focus, you know, they see it right in front of them, tonyanying, ye nyaka siala, right? Like it can't always be president.
yeah.
Like you're saying, like these people are people who you would never even hear their name in the media. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
is how are they getting this money? If you go to the ports there, it's the place is inferior. The toilets are inferior. You see, it's not even suitable for human use. So, so therefore, like, but the port is making money, is bringing in money. Niajibe like at the Banjo port when you're coming, Kaferiota. So Ndongo Dole Bije, literally, I can say Milialong just they employ themselves. Need to do that in that parking garage there with your car. You dash them something. Why don't the ferry service, build that parking lot? It's a parking lot, right? And you officially employ those people. Some of them become security. One more mil baby luring, ika 1 mil bejo. You cut back. You cut back into the salary. But government setting up an institution such as the ferry service. But these people are, it's like a crime syndicate. They are like mob, you know. They're supposed to be official, but they extort money out of you. Some of
Yeah,
them,
I think
not all, not
yeah,
all,
some people are doing it
but some of them.
just like what is happening in some councils, like
Yeah.
tax collector. They
Well,
have
and
the
fun
council
there.
they have the council receipt books, but they also created similar receipt books for themselves. So
Right.
sometimes a ticket all wife unless I think shift from manual record system into
To
digital
digital.
system
Right.
will also help. Digital collection of funds, that will also help a lot. I think that's what some of these government institutions and in councils, these are things that they need to like. um we need to evolve. Gambia needs to
Right.
evolve. But Gambia fana maybe like I said, I've been saying this in almost even our last program nga for you. Gambia, if anybody wanted to bring in a new idea, people keep saying "Tolka ketenen." Tolka
Yes.
ketenen.
Yes.
We need to evolve from that. The world
Yes.
is changing
Absolutely. Yeah.
and things are changing with time. Let's also try to catch up to latest technologies, latest gadgets and whatsoever.
But they
Ning
got the they
ferry
got the
service.
phones in their hands.
Ferry service. How about
Everything is
the
there.
ferry service? Ye kiosk yele. Yela $20 dundi la ticket o bondi. Okodo manta amola jibo
Right.
right?
But what
Things
did you
like that.
say?
Digital. Or
They
like
don't wanna they don't wanna track this.
yeah,
That's the thing.
near kodo di mola, it will be
No,
recorded
Gambia,
in
they
the
need to go
let's say
digital.
natra fenkolo babul come like a fenkolo I near $20 you run. That system is directly connected to a server somewhere. At the end of
Hmm.
the day, all they need to do is when you close for 4:30, it ain't a yellow machine when you audit. Yellow login name with your password. At the end of the day, how much your men sell will be there. So they will know, hey, these guys, I ticket on my, I 5,000 tickets level, I 200 tickets level. That is amounted to 5,000. But manually, that's where the corruption comes in.
Look, if I were to run the ferry service, right,
Yeah.
even just 1 year, even
Hmm.
just from the parking lot in Dorondron, the
Yeah.
amount of money they would that would come in,
Yeah.
like they would see the profit go up. The
Exactly.
toilets would be improved, Molla Sidulal would be improved,
Hmm.
like I would cut the staff in half.
Wastage. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I would cut them in half, right? Then we would have enough money and start thinking about investing in new and faster ferries.
Hmm.
Because you see, to make money, you have to spend money.
Hmm.
But like you said, I mean, for Tonyale, you know, the government is losing too much money because, Doku Dulal is not regulated. Dulal miliale ka kodo dundina. Jamal Bijede, Ibe Fongol represent kam. I was there, like when they thought I was in the Gambian. They'll be from the side, they want to collect kodo mbulu okono. You see what I'm saying? And they work there. These people are in uniform. Like that should not happen. Like they need to regulate. They have enough money to a point ni efficient. They will be surprised at how things would improve. More they would receive
Yeah, salary
salary increase. That
increase
way they don't
benefits and
have
all
to,
the stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, Ndebuka nying si fal moy. Ka foko
So,
they come with these ideas, to be frank.
so the ideas are there, Afrodamus, but just look at it from this perspective, right? Let's say I'm a department head. I'm head of Gambia's, at the airports, civil aviation authority, whatever.
Right.
And I have this excellent idea of, maybe left of digitalization, not legit. But also, I know very well, I'm getting some kickbacks from all these cash transactions on Murukanana. But then, if I bring in the digitalization, is maybe the additional kickbacks in Kamusoto is going to impact my pocket.
So
So
they're
will I be
willing
motivated enough? Huh?
So what's
they're
gonna happen?
willing they're willing
What
they're
game
willing
for?
they're
That's
willing
what
to
game for. That's
kill
where the
the
source will
economy.
come in. I think one has to be patriotic in a sense of what you're doing in that institute. At the end of the day, like
Yes.
I example mendi for ferry service, nila performance improved, ila revenue increased. That's how they will think of increasing salaries, increasing benefits, and maybe paying for overtimes, paying for buying. If you have too much holiday, last time I remember now the discussion they can buy back some of your leave days. Nima laf kata leave fola. So moma nya ne mira le kungo da mala wato wale.
Right.
Ye mira
You will lose
ye
because you
institution wala ye mira
personally.
bankola.
Yeah.
Ye mira bankola like ye me for it's true. These kickbacks, corruption, and some other stuff actually is really killing the institution. So until we have strong institution with good leaders, with leaders that has vision, leaders with vision, because these are leaders, some of these people are leaders, but they don't have the vision and the patriotism in them to work for the country. Most of them they are just there for their own pocket. Hey, so long things trickle down into my pockets. I don't care. You know, I
But
think
that's terrible. I know,
those
but
type of
remember now,
attitudinal change is what we need.
yeah, but they're gonna be using the crazy thing is, right? They're going to be using that same toilet, right? That's another thing, Morinyanta kami yeta even Gambia. Another thing is the big problem: toilets. Ikatanying, even these government places, like it's just not healthy for humans to be there. So what paranta folako mansate, right? Um, the people themselves don't care about the environment that they are in. Because think about it. Why would someone just only think about themselves, about the kickback they would get, but rather lose millions in the process? You see what I'm saying? Like they're getting just a little change for themselves. But in that process, they're like giving middle finger to the country.
Absolutely. So that's exactly what I'm trying to say. For example, those big heads, at the airport, for example, they have their own clean toilets internally that they use. They don't care about it. Because look at this, back in
But
2011.
do the people care about themselves? This is the
Exactly.
problem. Like the fact is,
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like Yaya just mentioned, we should be patriotic, which is very important. Thing I would have wanted to kill it. But no more, we need a lot of cleansing, internal cleansing to go on.
right.
Weed out all of these people they don't want to see the country move forward. So in that case, New World Kit Operator, then you bring in these changes. Or another way to do it is enforcement. Like the
Right.
government should come up with these things, and everyone that is found wanting, you enforce the law to the letter. And when that happens, that's going to be a big deterrent. People will start, it'll be a fun thing killer that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So Yaya said he'll be leaving soon. So let's just tackle the next topic, and we can wrap up. Maybe 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So the next topic in line, the Afrobarometer by Cyprus. So they came up with their findings. The government, 77% of Gambians, don't have a good outlook on how things are going. They believe that the country is not going in the right direction. And they published this, and then the government came back and, through the Ministry of Information, with the press release. Kabugo, that is just subjective when someone says that, okay, so they kind of describe this Franconing as perception surveys, that's what they call it, right? And they're not really reflecting on what's really happening, what the government is doing, and all that stuff. So I just wanted us to kind of speak on that. If you want to go start Evidence, then I can come in.
Yeah, I've seen that, but as far as I haven't seen what type of process they used, what is the sample size of their survey, and also the type of questions they've asked. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, the government coming back, what they've said, that's the right way to approach it. Because, I mean, they're not going to want that to just like that, obviously, right? That, they would have to challenge it to make sure, like, it doesn't start. But yeah, the way they presented it, of course, you can challenge it and say, it's subjective because they have not, shown us the type of questions that were asked, the sample size, and yeah, they didn't furnish information.
So usually when they publish those, it's a big report, and usually they will publish everything, even the type of questions and how many respondents they got and stuff like that. But whenever the news outlets pick it up, they don't kind of report on those details because it's like
Because
pages and pages.
because the problem is we're having in Gambia is like confirmation bias. For example, I'll give an example. Like, come Mbemba Fendel for talking about it as like he's giving information, right? But if that were true, for example, why was he keeping this information from the Gambian people for forever? Because technically, what he's saying, it means what he's atebem foka ikatama dibole kono. It's not about intelligence, because if you can keep the person near, ya blood dibo kono, a latela, so you would always win. So the point is, in like media is Jamal Bijay is about, they have what I call confirmation bias. And when you have confirmation bias, you don't really care about, asking these questions or looking for, how the information was gathered. So they don't care. All they care about is this is what they wanted to hear, and that's that.
Makes sense, but I'll play the devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
That same Cyprus, a few days leading it to the elections last year, in 2021, they came up with their findings saying, Barrow was going to win it with a landslide.
Right.
And when they did, the NPP, they embraced that, and everyone,
Good point. But at the time, maybe they didn't have, our fine-tuned, Minister of Information who have the intelligence to count it. I bet you he probably counted during that time too.
Yeah. So yeah, but no, that was just leading to the election.
But you're right. No, you're right.
UDP counted it and said it's not true. And I bet you, like, the way they predicted it, the results came out. Yeah, right. That's how it happened. Okay, yeah, so that's why I'm pretty sure right now, government, from an information perspective, they're gonna, debunk this and stuff like that, because it does not.
Are you saying the youths are not happy?
No, the youths, I don't know. So, but what I'm saying is, I understand from the government perspective, you cannot receive such a survey and just accept it, because it does not make you look good. No, you're gonna debunk it, and then internally you'll try to make some correct adjustments. Yeah, so which is good.
I mean, they're not going to, admit to that. Like, it's a fun
yeah, exactly. All right, Afrobarometer, it's been a good. I don't want to take you. I know you have another show coming on your channel very soon.
That's
and
right.
Yahya too has some events coming up, with him. So I really want to thank you, gentlemen, for being on here today. And Mbaden Namola and Jibe Laf thank you, for being with us, spending your valuable time with us. I appreciate it. Inshallah, next week, Saturday, Binal, same time. And the topic so that level we are looking at. Allah baraka baki, Allah jiber kunin lamada kenwala. Thank you, man. Afrobarometer. See you, man. All right, take care, brother.